Hi everyone, this is Abdullah Suleimana, the founder of Beginners Leader YouTube channel. Today, our tutorial is going to center on computer systems, and I hope you all enjoy the tutorial. So let's kickstart. By the close of this tutorial, you should be able to define a computer, differentiate data and information, identify the components of a computer, differentiate application software and system software, explain the work of a computer, and explain how data is processed on a computer. So if I may ask, what is a computer? Basically, a computer is an electronic device that accepts data as an input, process the data, and produce an output for users. From the definition I've provided, you could see that I've mentioned some couple of words. So let's tackle the main ones. I said computer is an electronic device. When they say computer is an electronic device, basically they mean that the main components of a computer is electronics. And from that, you can even testify that the main source of energy for a computer is through electricity. It helps the computer to function. And I again said it accepts data as an input. That is to say, when you enter something in a computer, it should be able to be held for some time. Think of it like if I open my palm and you drop something on it and it remain on my palm, it means that my palm was able to provide enough space for you to place that thing. It means that my palm accepted it. Once I fold my palm back, the thing will drop. It means that a computer should be something that has a space where when you put something in it, it can hold that thing. Also, think of it like if I'm a stranger and I come to your house to sleep over. If you decide to give me a room to sleep, it means that you have accepted me into your house. But once you say you don't have a room, you don't even know where to accommodate me, it means that you have rejected me. So computer should be something that can provide rooms for anything that you put into it. I also mentioned about process. Processing, when they say process, it's just about doing arithmetic calculations or operations on raw data to get meaningful output from that. So before this can be done, it means that the computer should be able to reason. The main reasoning power of a computer is a processing unit. So meaning a computer should have a brain before it can process. So anything that you can call a computer, it means that that thing should have a brain. I also mentioned about output. For instance, if I say 1 plus 1, the computer should have a brain to be able to reason enough to know that 1 plus 1 is 2. Once the computer has the brain and it can reason to give me the answer 2, the 2 becomes my output and I can make use of the 2. So a computer should be able to accept you to type 1 plus 1 onto it, which is the accepting data as an input. It should also be able to reason enough to know that 1 plus 1 is 2 and produce the 2 for you to use. So that's the processing and the output. Let's make a progress. So what is a data? Data is an unprocessed facts stored on a computer. This forms the resources the the user enter into the computer to be processed. Data can be in the form of documents, it can be images, it can be figures, it can be text, etc. Depending on the intended usage or what you are aiming to see from it. One information can be a primary data in some aspect. So think of data as something which is raw, it's unprocessed. You haven't made any operation on that. You just take it raw. For example, if I go into a community and I begin writing the names of women in the community, the names of their husbands, their ages, the food they like, all those things I'm taking, all the records I'm making forms what we call data. Once I then begin to analyze that data, to be able to come out and see we have 4 women in the community, the most of their husbands, they are tall, they like eating waji and stuff. Then those results become what we call information. So let's look at what information is. So information is basically a process data. An output produced from a process data is an information to the user. So let me add another example. And that one will help us to differentiate data and information. Think of a customer and a salesperson. When you walk into a store or a shop as a customer to buy something, the store person will ask of the item you want. So the name of the transaction, let's say you want to buy a book. So the name of the book, the quantity you are going to buy, the amount you are going to pay, and the other stuffs are the basic information that the salesperson will enter into the computer. Once the salesperson prints out the receipt to show that you really made a purchase there, the receipt gives you what we call information. So the receipt it was processed in the computer system and it was brought out to you through the output unit as something that you can use to show that you really made a transaction with that salesperson. So let's move to computer system, and that is to say the components of a computer. A computer system is made up of a combination of hardware and software that allows a computer to function. So this is to say that the hardware and software play roles together to make the computer functional. So what is a computer hardware? The hardware is the physical part of a computer. This forms the part of the computer that can be seen and touched. Computer hardware comprises the monitor, printer, mouse, keyboard, joystick, system unit, and many more. So anything that you can see and is part of the computer is what we call hardware. And basically, from what we said earlier, it means that not only the hardware makes the computer functionable, there is another component called software. And this is to tell us that the software is the part that cannot be seen or touched. So basically, software is a set of instructions used to execute tasks with the support of a hardware. This forms the part of the computer that can neither be seen nor touched, but plays very important role in the performance of a computer. The software comprises Microsoft Office, Windows, or if you say you can say operating systems, Mac OS, Google Chrome, Adobe Reader, Power ISO, and many more. Yeah, plenty. I can mention all. Software categories. Basically, software of a computer is categorized into application software and system software. What is system software? System software is the software that maintains the resources of the computer and provides a platform for an application software to run. An example of system software is operating system. You can think of Linux, Windows, Mac OS, and others. What is application software? Application software is used to perform a specific task on a computer. Example of application software includes Microsoft Office, Firefox, Adobe Reader, Antivirus, Photoshop, VS Player. If you look at the examples I've mentioned, you could see that each software has its main purpose. Think of Microsoft Office. We use it to process work documents, Excel sheets, and other stuffs. Think of Firefox. We use it to browse the internet. Think of Adobe Reader. We use it to do editing. We use it to view PDFs and other stuff. Think of antivirus. We use it to maintain our computer to fight viruses. Think of Photoshop. We use it to make designs, wedding cards, and other stuff. Think of VS Player. We use it to play music on the computer system. So you could see that those softwares are for particular purposes. They perform unique tasks. You can say you are going to use Microsoft Office to play music. Are we together? You can say you are going to use antivirus to play music. You can you can say you are going to use Firefox to scan the viruses in your computer. So those softwares are designed mainly for specific tasks. So that's the application software. So let's think of application software and system software as application software. Let's think of it as something like a pen, and let's think of system software as something like a book. You need a book to write. You need a book to use pen on. So the system software provide the resources for the application software to run. So think of pen. You use pen to perform a particular task. You can use it to draw line. You can use it to write letter. You can use it to create tables and other stuffs. Are we together? Think of the book as something that provides a platform for you to write. Without the book, you can write. So the book will be there and we're using the pen to write on the book. So the system software provide a platform, and on that platform you can then run your application softwares. So that is to say that system software is independent on application software, but application software is dependent on system software, because without the system software you cannot use the application software. But with the support with application software, you can run different application software. So it is telling us that without the system software, the computer will not even come to life. It will not on. But once it is on, then we then decide whichever application software to use. So it means that without application software A, you can use B. Without B, you can use C. So the system software doesn't depend on them. But for the application software, for it to run, it means that the computer must be on. And whatever will bring the computer to life is the system software. So it means that the application software will always depend on the system software to perform. So let's now tackle the work of a computer. What do we use computer for? Or what are the basic things we expect computer to do for us? One, a computer should accept data as an input. I mentioned of that earlier. A computer should also be something that can store data. I mentioned of that also. A computer should be something that can process data. From the definition of computer, I mentioned that one too. A computer should be something that can produce an output. I mentioned that one too. A computer should be something that can control activities. That was what I didn't mention. And controlling activities is simply coordinating or integrating all the tasks that need to be performed in order to make it smooth for it to operate. Starting from input, storage, processing, and the output, it should be connected together. So whatever will link them is what we call the control activities. So the computer should be able to link those tasks together to get a smooth outcome of whatever task is being performed. How is data processed on a computer? Here we are going to discuss what the main things that are being undertaken in order for a data to be processed. First, for a data to be processed, it needs to be entered into the computer. If you don't send your shirt to your cloth to the tailor, I don't think the tailor can sew your shirt for you. So whatever you want to process, you need to first put it into the computer. Once you put it in and it holds or is being accepted, it means that something has been provided, and which is the storage unit. So a computer should have a storage unit, a primary storage unit, where when you enter data, that storage unit will hold the data before you do anything on it. So once you enter information into the computer, the storage unit will pick it. The central processing unit CPU then picks the data from the storage unit and perform operations on them per the given instructions to produce an output. So when you put like 1 plus 1, the storage unit will accept it to hold 1 plus 1. Then the processing unit, which is the CPU, will then pick the 1 plus 1 and perform the operations, the arithmetic operations on them to come out with the value 2. So the 2 becomes the output. Before the output will go to the user, it will be saved back to the storage unit so that the user can come and pick it there. That was where the user placed it. So once the processing unit picks the data from the storage, it will perform the operations and get the results and place it back to where it was picked, which is the storage unit. So the output unit will then help to display whatever was placed there, the results to the user. So think of the output unit as something that can make the user to retrieve whatever information that was put into the computer. The meaningful one, I mean. you put raw, you expect to get meaningful data back. One thing we need to always clear is computer is something that performs tasks faster, but that doesn't mean that computer is super compared to human beings. From what I just said, it means that whatever I keep talking about input, process, and output. So it means that before a computer can make a very meaningful and reasonable decision, the data that is being kept in it must be accurate. It should be something reasonable. It should be something that can yield results. So once you fail to put correct data into the computer, don't expect to get right answer from it. The computer is never super magic. It performs tasks according to our instructions. So for instance, like if if you have if you are at, let's say, USA, and maybe I want to give you direction to Ghana, and maybe instead of me to say Ghana is located in West Africa, I decided to say Ghana is located in South Africa. How do you locate Ghana? At the end, you go and be in South Africa roaming about, and you don't know where to go to. So you must provide the right direction for the computer to do the right thing for you. That is to say, the user is more brilliant than the computer, in the sense that the user must always know what he is doing with the computer before the computer can help you to do it fast. So the computer, what it does is it helps us to do whatever we want to do faster and more accurate. But nevertheless, it is never brilliant more than we are, because you need to be able to reason, to know the right thing before the computer can reason with you to do the right thing. I hope you have enjoyed the session. All you need to do is to try your best and become a member of the family. And how do you become a member? All you need to do is to Google beginners ladder / Abdullahi Suleimana, or beginners ladder / computer basics. Or if you just go to YouTube and search Abdullahi Suleimana, videos will come. You look for beginners ladder. Click on the link, watch the videos. If you just open the web, the link, you will see at the top videos. Click on that, you will see all the videos I've uploaded so far. You watch them, like them, leave out your comments if you have one. Share with your friends. Share, please. I beg, share. Let's build a house. Share. Thank you.